2. Hi, welcome to another edition of It's All About the Dogs. My name is George Philip Quinlan. I'm your host, and we have a really special guest. As much as I love having my dogs on the show, today I get to spend some time with a new dog. And our first guest, or I guess our second guest, Tristan being the first, Sarah. Sarah, you want to introduce yourself and your dog?
Hi, I'm Sarah Foster, and this is my canine Bella. She's a scent detection dog.
A what?
A scent detection dog?
Scent detection? She tells you if there's perfume in the air?
No. She tells me if there's bed bugs.
Bed bugs? Mm-hmm. Well, I gotta tell you guys, I purposely didn't prepare for the show because I'm fascinated with this topic, and I wanted to share it with everybody because when I heard about the bed bug dogs, and then I heard about Sarah, and we talked, I became totally fascinated about it. So please tell us. You just go around to people's homes with your dog and checking for people's bed bugs? You just knock on doors? Are you invited into the homes? How do people find you? What's the story?
Well, it depends on where we're going. We do a lot of housing authorities. We do houses. We do apartments. We've done school buses, hospitals.
School buses. Cool.
And we've done a few schools, and then we also do hospitals. I mean, anywhere that people are, we check. And anytime, and I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's so much in the media that if anybody has a bug bite of any type, they call us and they say, we might have bed bugs. We went on a trip, 4 months ago.
Sure.
So, they call us, and it probably starts with a Google search.
How about hotels?
Oh yeah, we do hotels.
They contact you? Do you have a regular schedule, I guess I'm trying to say? Do you go around to certain hotels, hire you to come in every so often to do routines?
Yeah, there's a lot of hotels that we do monthly. We do a group of rooms every month.
Okay.
And normally it's on rotation, so we're not checking the same rooms every month.
Oh, I see. So it's like random.
Right, so that hopefully within, a 6-month period, we're hitting every single room.
Gotcha.
And we have a handful of hotels like that who do it monthly, and then we have people who do it quarterly, and we try and get into every single room on the day that we're there for the quarterly. And then there's other people who call us because a guest complained or a maid found something in the room and suspicions.
It's one of the reasons I'm not crazy about hotels. We bought a motorhome this year purposely because I really became uncomfortable seeing in hotels traveling around. So now we have our own room. We take responsibility for it. Bed bugs, how are they different than head lice? And can your dog detect, or they have to be specifically trained for individual?
Bed bugs give off an odor similar to the idea of a stink bug.
Okay.
When you squish a stink bug, you smell a pheromone.
Okay.
That's what they're trained to find. Every insect has a different pheromone that's given off. We have found that these dogs will detect bat bugs as well.
Bat bugs?
Bat bugs.
You like Batman or
yeah?
Yeah.
They come in on bats, through people's attics, and they have a similar nature to bed bugs. They look the same, except for under a microscope where a bat bug has hair on it.
Okay.
And bed bugs don't.
Interesting.
And the dogs will detect both because they're in the same family, so they give off the same odor.
Interesting.
But that's the only thing that she's trained to find. I mean, she'll, find some popcorn and eat it, but that's about
it. Well, she's a beagle.
Yeah.
So, bed bugs and bat bugs. Interesting. Does it take a lot to train a dog, prepare for this?
You buy the dogs trained. So she came from a company down in Florida.
Okay.
J&K Canine Academy.
All right.
And there's many, many, many around the world.
That's a plug. Expect something back in return, folks.
But so we called the company, you get information, you put a deposit down on the dog. She, when we called, wasn't going to be ready for another 6 months.
Uh-huh.
So they train them for 6, 7, 8 months. It depends on the dog.
How old are they when you get them?
She was 2.
2 years of age.
Yeah, so they probably had her when she was a year and a half, maybe a little younger.
Okay.
So you buy them, they get trained. My father and I ended up going down to Florida, trained for a week with her.
Okay.
And then you have to get certified as a team.
All right.
So the dogs are certified on their own to find bugs, but the dogs are this much of the equation. You know, and
Absolutely.
then there's the handler who messes
I
everything
think
up.
that's something that we should talk a little bit about because you have to get certified yourself,
We have to get certified as a team.
right? Okay, so you have to go to training yourself
With her, yes.
with her. Okay, all right. But in order to do this, you are working as a team.
Yeah.
So you really have to be connected with your dog. So I'm going to guess, and as a guess, that she doesn't live in a kennel, and when she's not working, that she actually lives in your home with you.
She does. She is kennel trained.
Great training?
She loves her kennel.
Yeah.
It's her, safety zone, safe
Yeah.
space, whatever. Most of the time when we've had a big day and she's tired, see ya. And I have to, Bella, get up. You need to sleep. Hours.
Yes.
But and that's just, some dogs like it, some dogs don't. She loves it.
And you can condition them to that. I've been working with rehabilitating animals since 1970, long time. We didn't have crates; weren't that popular back in those days. But I'll tell you, and I managed to get by fine for many, first 2 decades, if you will. But I wouldn't do it at all without a crate nowadays. I think the crate is a way for the dog to know it's your time. You do what you want, and there's a time to work and there's a time to play. How much time do you spend training her?
It's an everyday event.
Hear that, folks? Every day.
It's we work all day, but it's a reinforcement. So, she's working, but if she's not finding any bugs, she's hungry. She needs to be fed. So we do controlled.
She's what?
She's hungry.
Okay.
And she needs to get fed. So we do controlled hides.
Okay.
So we have bed bugs and
Oh,
vials.
sure.
And we put them out so they can get fed.
Sure, that makes sense.
And then when we get home at the end of the day, I try not to feed her everything when she's working because we need to get home. And, if there's stuff during the day that I've noticed that she needs to work on, I'll do like different things to work on. It's a constant battle.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. Really happy you said that because oftentimes people feel that once a dog's trained, that they really don't have to do a whole lot.
They're a lot smarter than you.
Yeah.
She has gotten more than one over on me.
Many times I will bring a dog on the show and I'll have Bait Bag with me, or if I'm taking one out to introduce my clients to, I take advantage of that in making that a control, what you call a control find. I'm doing a chance to train my dog in front of, taking advantage of showing my dog to my clients, but at the same time reinforcing the training, and so that they're going to make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
And I think that people don't realize that. I think that oftentimes they're convinced that dogs supposed to be trained, should behave all the time, but dogs are dogs, and that's what makes them so special. So a controlled find would be that you would set up something to actually, for matter of fact, why don't we? Could you give us an idea of? Can you show us what that's all about?
Yep.
Can you do that for us?
Yes, I can.
Great. So Sarah, let me introduce tell the people in the other room there, can't be, the producers, that we're going to see if your place is clean, folks. Be heads up, okay? We're going to send this dog around and check out this furniture you got me sitting in every week and find out how clean they are. So I'm going to sit back. I'm going to go stand by the fireplace and just enjoy watching this, okay? Whenever you're ready, let me get out of the way.
Do you want to work? Do you want to fight the bug? No, you come work with me. Come on. Come here, Belle.
She's just getting the dog set up so it's not bringing right to the...
Find him? Where are they? Where are your bugs? Oh, that's a good girl. Yes,
my
it
God.
is. Come here. Good girl.
I've been sitting in furniture with bed bugs. Yes. Or have I? Why don't you tell us what just happened, Sarah, please? Why don't you come back over when you...
Maybe. There we go.
There you go.
So Ted, who's...
You gonna check this furniture too?
So they might be there.
No,
too.
I really want to know now.
No, she's not. She's just...
No, it's...
She still thinks that she's working. She has that problem. Hey, come on, Boo. Yeah. No, Ted put out bugs, and there's 9 bugs in this file, and they can smell right through it.
Wow. So that's what a bed bug
Are you
looks
still
like.
working,
They're
honey?
big. Oh, they're alive.
Yeah, we train them only
Oh
on
no, I
live
dropped
bugs.
it. It's
No,
open.
it's
Oh
glass.
no.
Don't drop it.
Oh, they are alive.
We train them only on live bugs.
I had no idea bed bugs were that big.
Those are adults.
And what are those little black spots?
That's their droppings.
That's what I thought.
That's their
Okay.
fecal matter. There's probably actually, maybe not. Let me see this side. Yep, you see that little white speck?
Yes.
That's their eggs. So I always, whenever people tell me that you can see them, I say their eggs look like a grain of salt.
Sure.
And
Hold that up for the camera to see if they can probably can. I don't know how much you can zoom in, but it's quite fascinating.
at the same token, I always say you can see a tick, you can see a deer tick on a piece of paper, but trying to find it on your dog is a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, usually you can't find them on the dog until they've already bitten. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, why don't you take those and get that away from me before I drop them? And nice job.
I know you, good girl.
That was fun. So that gives an idea. Now, what's fascinating is I noticed that she uses what's called active.
Fine.
Thank you very much. The pawing is active find,
Yeah.
right? Now, if that was a dog being used for bomb search, you wouldn't
That
use
would
an
be an
active
issue.
bomb.
I
That would
never
be
even thought of that.
yeah, and that's so I'll come back into what I do know about bomb dogs. Use what's called passive.
They lay down.
Lay down or bark or sit or indicate by not pawing, because the last thing we want to do is to have it
Right.
start digging.
I've never even thought of that before.
Yeah. And but it's just enough. There's enough indication to make it very, very clear, not to the point where that she's going to
Right.
obsesses and digging and taking the chance of damaging furniture. So it was a clear indication. There's no question that she's found something. Good, good. That was very nice. Oh, look how beautiful she is just sitting there.
Very dainty.
I love when they lay like this, a sphinx. You know, in all the years I've been training, and I've seen some wonderful cases. I've seen some real difficult cases. You know what I love best about my job? Hey guys, I hope you're paying attention because I'm going down. Normally you have trouble. Hi, sweetie. This is the part that I love best about my job. I love just sitting on the floor. I know a lot of people like having the dogs in the car on their furniture with them. I can't because my dog's like 90 pounds.
Massive. They'll take it up.
Hi, would you sneak? Huh? If you stop pawing at me, I'm really in trouble. I really am in trouble. Oh, that's nice. This is the part I love best about my job. I really love looking in the dog's eyes and just getting this wonderful soft feeling from them. And I'm assuming an assumption because I don't want to, you know, you don't like to assume anything with dogs and people, but one of the things is when you're working with her, it's easy to forget about the rest of the world, isn't it? I mean, you really.
Yes and no. When we got her home and I started working with her, I very quickly realized that there was a difference between being a pet lover and being a dog handler.
Yes.
In a lot of situations, it's very easy to just go in a bubble with her and work with her.
Yes.
And then there's some cases where, you know, you have to very much so disconnect yourself emotionally from the places that I'm at.
Yeah.
And she's really great for that because she tears me away from that for, you know, I don't have to look at all the grossness around me. I have a nice dog to work with all day. But it's definitely, there's an enormous difference between being a dog handler and being a pet lover.
Yes, there really is. And one of the things I try to inspire people to when they train with their dog, at the beginning of their pet dogs, is my goal is to get them to spend a couple of minutes and just focus on you and the dog. That's it. Let go of work.
Oh, yeah.
Let go of the traffic jam that you just went in. Just sit and make a connection with your animal. And I find it to be really, really peaceful. Okay, sweetie, I'm going to try to get up because it's not easy for me to get up anymore.
Here, Belle. You're in the way.
It's okay. I love her. And there was a day when I get up without a problem. So, anyhow.
She says, oh, I like this guy. Patting me.
What makes a dog really, really healthy, folks, is the fact that stimulating dog. Find out what the dog really enjoys doing and build off that. A lot of people come to me with hunting dogs, and they want to make them into house pets, but the dog gets bored really quick, and next thing you know, they're causing damage to the home. Find out something for your dog to do. One of the games that I like people to do with beagles and or beagle mixers is the Dixie Cup games. Have you done that with her?
No, she's not much into playing games.
Well, she works hard, so
She does.
what I do is I set up 3 Dixie cups and I put a treat in one of them, and I play the shell game with the dogs, and teach the dogs to use their nose and then have them further back so the dog gets to go up and use the senses that's
Right.
been given to them. Look at that face! Oh, can you get a picture in that beautiful face? So what's your main motivation when you train? How do you keep her energy up, and how do you keep her focused?
She has to love what she's doing every second of every day. She will not work if she's not enjoying it. So, and at the same token, I have to, and this is where handler is 95% of what I do. She knows what she's doing. You have to keep her motivated. You have to keep uppity. You have to be excited. You know, good girl. You want to go to work. You want to go find some bugs. So it's it's reinforcement. It's being happy. It's being happy-go-lucky. And
Right.
I mean, there are and she loves to work. She has a ton of energy, and she will go and go and go, and then she's done.
And then she's done. And when she's done, she's done. So I noticed no choke chains.
No.
Right.
But she is a very unusual beagle. But
Well-
I credit that to her job. So
Well, I think the key is that we try to stress a lot to people when they watch the show is the dog really, you have to find a tool or a game or something that the dog enjoys doing. You can't
yeah.
make a dog do something, but you can help the dog want to do it. And so you build off of what she's already has going for her. And she had a nice start, and what you're doing is keeping it going.
yeah.
And I am so happy that I get a chance to spend some time with her. And we met accidentally, folks. I just happened to call Deputy Chief from the fire department, and I found out that the dog, not this dog, you have another dog
Yeah,
as well?
Maybell.
And what kind of dog is she?
She's a mutt. She's a beagle. She's a little bit smaller than Bella.
Uh-huh.
She's a beagle mix. She's has beagle in her. She's white with black spots. So Dalmatian. I think she has a little Jack Russell in her. She's a little pit bull in her. She's a little spicy.
Heinz 57, that's what we
Yeah.
used to call them. And they were on their way to do a routine checkup with the fire department because there's housing in the fire departments because they're like during the storm they have people stay overnight. They now have in-house. Some of your fire departments have in-house programs for firefighters or young kids that are going through schooling to be firefighters. It gives them a chance to get an internship and get housing while they're going to school and work and give something back to the community. So the dogs play a great role. I'm so happy I happened to talk to Andy at the same Deputy Chief, I should say, at the time that you happened to be with him because that's how we met. And I'm tickled pink because I got really excited about hearing about this thing and I wanted to share it with everybody and understand, folks, that it doesn't matter what you do with your dog as long as you're having fun in the process and make it something that the dog wants to do. You can't force a dog to do something if they don't want to do it because they have to be motivated to do it. You know, if you watched the show before, you know how I feel about choke chains. I'm dead set against them. I don't think they're necessary. And it doesn't really help you achieve your goals with the animal, especially in the learning process. I want to recap what Sarah said, that if the dog has an off day, you just do what's called control fines like we did with the coach, which helps motivate the dog back again and to succeed so she doesn't have a bad day, if you will.
Yeah. And then there's just different things that we work on. But you have to do it every day.
Every day. And it becomes a way of life.
Oh, it's definitely a lifestyle.
Yep. And owning a dog, we live a very, very, very busy life. We have very busy schedules, and they're getting crazier and crazier instead of calmer. And the dogs sometimes get put on the back burners because we're too busy with all the other things that happen in our life. So remember, there's a lot of different dogs out there working for a living. There's a lot of wonderful breeds. Find out what breed works for you and find out what the dog enjoys doing and build off of that, okay? And that means you have to train and do a little bit of something with the dog every day. We're not talking about hours a day. We're talking, she works a full day for the most part, but for a house pet, to keep them sharp, working a few minutes several times a day is a lot of fun. Take it as an enjoyable situation. When I did classes many years ago, I loved Super Bowl because I gave everybody in my class a challenge. If they were going to watch a Super Bowl, the challenge was that every bear commercial, they were going to teach the dogs to do sits and downs. Every car commercial, they were going to do recalls. In every Dorito commercial, they were going to teach a dog to do a send away onto something else. And I figured by the end of the Super Bowl, if they did all these trainings during all these little commercials, the dog would be well trained with the foundation. Short, brief, have fun. I'm so happy you came, and I get a chance to meet this pup. And you notice that this is a smart working dog. Take a break when you can. Your dog needs to sleep. I want to touch on one more thing before I let you go, okay? Oftentimes I have clients come to me and they take the dogs to work and they have these behavior issues and they're barking and growling and they just want to be able, and people think that they're sleeping. And in the room full of people walking around, and we know that some dogs can deal with that kind of stress and others can't. As you'll notice that when Bella's working, she's working. When Sarah is doing her paperwork, or in this case, just talking with me, this dog is going to take a quick little nap and save its energy because you still have a full day ahead of you. You just took a little time out of your day to come here with us. I appreciate so much that you came, and when your dog wakes up, you can thank her for me.
Thank you for having us.
Folks, remember, they're with us for a very short time. We've got to give them the best life that we can give them, and how we share that with them is really, really critical. Enjoy, because at the end of the day, folks, it's all about the dogs.